I'm Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
Hey, everybody, I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm Matt Aucamp.
And say it with us, Pete. Welcome to Mutant Menace. Oh, Matt.
Pat, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're back on Alpha Flight. It's Alpha Flight time again.
Yay! Yay! Man, when I tell you, man, when I first read Alpha Flight, I was like, this is good. That's not my experience rereading Alpha Flight.
I thought this was all fine, but we can dig into that as we go. There is something we kind of wanted to touch on up top.
Oh boy.
Because John Byrne, creator, writer, and artist of Alpha Flight, it was announced is going to be back on X-Men for the first time in 40 years, I believe.
John Byrne's in the news.
Yeah. And John Byrne, have you seen the news? So with that announcement came an old quote of his that folks rightfully still remember because it was heinous about trans people. I don't think we've shied away from it. I think that we up top acknowledged this.
We did. I think we put in the caveat that he did apologize for this later, and I don't know if that caveat was necessary. I think it's okay to just be super mad at him for saying this.
Yeah, it sucks. It's shitty, and
I don't know that he apologized. I think he just said a different thing. Like he came around on it. But
yeah,
we talked about this previously, and you said he's not the sort of guy who apologizes.
Let's see. Yes, yeah. He wouldn't actually apologize. He has said much friendlier things about trans people since, but it doesn't excuse the shit that he said back in like 2009 or whatever. Whenever he got into blogging and just started putting his thoughts out there for everyone to read. Never a good idea.
No.
We, of course, with that in mind and always keeping that in mind as we read through this stuff, we still got to engage with it, right? So we're going to read it with that consideration as we've been doing, but also want to acknowledge it because we do tend to separate that from the art itself when we
to an extent, right? Like anytime John Byrne's politics seem to be influencing the writing at all, we do address it. But I think I'm sure it exists and I'm sure you could find it, but I haven't yet read a John Byrne comic book where his views on trans people were informing the writing.
Yeah.
We acknowledge it. Probably won't come up, but we probably will talk about John Byrne's other shitty political views at certain points because we always do every Alpha Flight episode. We should also mention the last two issues in this are written by Bill Mantlo, and he continues the thread of being prejudiced against people, extremely ableist. It happens almost immediately. Like it's been like a running almost joke in this show, but I can't stress enough how every Bill Mantlo comic book we've read so far has said something bad about some kind of disability.
Yeah.
Not one hasn't. And like, what is that, dude?
I don't know. It's fucking weird. And I don't think we've made any secret about our feelings for Bill Mantlo on this podcast. But yeah, today we get the
anyway,
the best of them. We're going from John Byrne to Bill Mantlo. And
do you know how that happened, by the way?
What happens? No, I don't.
it happens with a Hulk crossover, and it's because Bill Mantlo and John Byrne, like John Byrne was under contract. Like if he was going to write Fantastic Four, he had to write Alpha Flight and draw, like he had to do an Alpha Flight comic.
Right.
And he was talking to his buddy, Bill Mantlo, probably about how much they hated different types of people. And they talked about, like, Bill Mantlo was writing the Hulk and John Byrne was writing Alpha Flight, and Bill Mantlo had some Alpha Flight ideas. John Byrne had some Hulk ideas. And they were like, wait, do you think we could just switch? And that was their deal. Byrne would take over Hulk and Mantlo would take over Alpha Flight. And that's why their crossover involves, like, the transition involves a Hulk crossover.
Yeah. It seems like, if nothing else, because we say a lot of bad things about the man, it seems like Bill Mantlo was a good friend, a good, like, collaborative partner.
Yeah. He loved his comic book buddies. Well, I mean, I think that's why that's one of the reasons he's so beloved. When he had his accident, the community really, really rallied around him.
Yeah.
He was so by all accounts, he was a sweetheart. He was a lovely guy. He was friendly to newcomers and old heads alike. So, but sometimes the biggest racist works in a soup kitchen, right? Like people are complicated. Everybody's got good and bad. All right.
With that, Matt, let's brighten things back up a bit. What has Alpha Flight been up to?
All right, let's see. Last week. Okay, let's brighten things up. Sasquatch is dead.
Right, because he was actually an evil ancient god.
Yes, so this is so funny because we've also been talking about, I love how vindicated we are. I love when we are so vindicated. We've been talking about what a dumb dipshit Walter Langkowski is. And now it's canon.
Yeah, it turns out he made up all the science behind his transition. It was actually just him being possessed by a demon.
He was so dumb that the great beasts took notice and were like, hey, this guy's doing the dumbest science ever. I bet one of us could possess him and convince him it was his science that did
it. Right. It's not like this isn't a guy that doesn't tell everybody he got bit by a zombie. This is a guy who doesn't realize getting bit by a zombie is bad.
Right. He's like, oh, it might make me stronger. I'm actually smarter than the zombie virus. So if I get bit by a zombie, I'm actually going to be just a little faster and stronger.
Yeah, I'll probably cure it.
I'm just going to eat some red meat and I'll be fine. Being bit by a zombie, everybody knows that guy, right? The guy who thinks they have a loophole for everything, right? Like,
yeah.
What if I was bit by a zombie? I would just eat red meat. Duh. I'd just eat red meat all the time and I'd be fine.
I will say, anybody who thinks they would survive with like a zombie apocalypse because they have some sort of plan is the least likely person to survive that scenario. I think if you think you're prepared for it, you're going to die really fast.
Yeah, you have to be fucking terrified. I mean, this is the case with a lot of different stuff. Is like the most confident people are the ones who are fucked.
Yeah. Except for the occasional extremely confident and extremely person.
Capable. Mm-hmm.
That's why we get all these movies about it.
I've been personally dealing with somebody like this about the law, and it's just really funny to watch him lose over and over again. To watch this guy just be like, "Hey, I'm a little smarter than you, than the law," and just lose one after another. Okay, so Snowbird discovers this about Walter Langkowski and then fucking kills him.
Yeah.
Just kills him. Just murders. And then she's like, but we can save him if we all go to the kingdom of the beasts.
Right. That's where they're keeping his soul.
Any other Alpha Flight observations?
I think the other thing worth bringing back up, just because we haven't seen much of them, is the partnership of Madison Jeffries and Roger Box.
Oh, yeah.
Roger Box created a robot that was misused by, I forget his name, to kill Guardian.
Jerry Jackson.
Jackson. And Box has been looking to get revenge. So Madison Jeffries, who is a technopath, is that what we call him?
Something like that.
Technokinetic, can manipulate machines at will with his mind. Helped him design a better box, a better robot.
Yes, and this was the only time we saw Madison Jeffries, right? Like, he was in the picture at the very beginning of Beta Flight and whatever.
But yeah, we haven't seen him in action in any way, except for just helping repair an old robot.
Right. We just saw him after Guardian's death, chatting with Roger Box, repairing Box, and we know very little about Madison Jeffries.
Oh, the music kicked in, Matt. Were you going to say something?
Guess not.
Okay. Well, good, because it's time anyway for Pat's Email Corner.
Oh, I've been there.
We got a bunch, Matt. Are you ready? Are you ready for this marathon?
I've never been readier.
Starting with Email Michael responding to episode 64.
Okay.
Email Michael says, "Hey, Pat, could you please tell Matt that it's fine if you want to change the format of the opening of these emails from simply tell Matt? I'll try to keep up." If you remember.
Did we ever say it was please? We never said it was please.
We did it. Somebody did it. And we were like, oh, that's very sweet. Everybody should do this from now on.
I forgot. I don't remember anything from Pat's Email Corner.
2 questions were asked this time. First, can you use anodyne in a sentence to describe Tylenol? Here's my best attempt. Forsooth, this headache doth vex me terribly, and I am in dire need of the anodyne effects of Tylenol.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a great example.
No notes.
Second, is Rogue making Northstar dance with her homophobic, as Matt thinks, in that she's taunting him playfully but not hatefully, as in this isn't threatening because he's gay, or is she totally oblivious to it, which is Pat's stance? I always assume anything written in the 80s features a lot of ingrained homophobia by default, and I assume the same here. It's only a guess, and Pat could well be right, but I'm going to go with Matt this time. I'm often right when I assume the worst about comic book writers from this era. Always the pessimist, Email Michael.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Because again, your scenario supposes, Pat, that she saw Northstar hooking up with a bunch of men and was just confused. Was just like,
yeah,
did I do that? Did I do all of that?
Which could very well be, but yeah, if we're taking a bad faith reading here, I suppose. Up next, Matt, this one's going to be in response to episode 65. You remember that one? This one's from Weapon Jason. It says, "Hey, Pat, tell Matt." New rules are out the window already. I wonder if the re-release of Disney's Songs of the South... I wonder if the re-release of Disney's Songs of the South in 1980, or give her age, maybe the early 70s re-release, had possibly put the idea into Louisa's mind to make use of the name/powers for a character. Remember, there's a character that goes by what is dubiously a racial slur, I guess?
Is a racial slur, but its origins are dubiously racist.
Yeah. The film was incredibly popular for a long time and something a lot of folks saw. The last release of the film wasn't until the year after these issues, 1986. And I do remember that the general awareness that it was not just a regular Disney film, but had way more racist aspects was not something that hit the general zeitgeist until probably sometime in the early 90s.
So, dude, I went to Disney World in the early 90s, I think 2 times. And Thunder Mountain was Song of the South themed. There was a bunch of scenes with Brer Bear and Brer Rabbit and Brer Fox, and I fucking loved these guys as a little kid. I was like, these characters are so cool and so fun and so cute and funny, and I bought all the little figurines of the Brers in the gift shop. And I was always so baffled. Like, why is there not more Brer stuff?
Yeah.
Why is there not more of this stuff? And why have I never seen the movie with Zippity Doodah in it?
Right. Because by that time, it had kind of come over folks like, oh,
it was starting to. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And as Weapon Jason points out, this is a pre-internet time.
He loves to point this out. 2 things we know about Weapon Jason. He hates inkers.
And he hates the internet.
And he hates he wants us to envision a time before the internet and at every opportunity.
He goes on, he says, I've always enjoyed Power Packs, sort of in the same way I occasionally enjoy a Richie Rich or Hot Stuff or other Hardy comics. Yeah, it's for kids, but there's something kind of charming about it. And loved these crossovers with the X-Men as means to generally humanize and have the X-Men briefly feel like they weren't so scary.
Was that the general consensus? Is X-Men's good, but it's scary?
It's dark.
People like, serious. They're reading an X-Men comic and they go, and go hide under the covers.
Also like that we see the first hints of Kitty Pryde's leadership abilities, as well as Wolverine's growing get along better with kids than adults tendencies. He really is the coolest during this period.
Yeah, 100%. I love that that's a thing that continues to grow about Wolverine, is like he just gets kids.
And as I mentioned on your popular Discord, thank you for the Discord plug.
Everybody check out the show notes for the Discord.
The fact that Juggernaut/Kane Marco is just trying to live a normal life despite being burdened with his powers, but keeps running into the consequences of trying to just kill Xavier all those years ago is so great. I think this is part of Claremont sort of establishing that just because you have powers doesn't mean you can't try to quit the hero-villain life. Something I think he was trying to do with Scott. And then...
interesting.
Yeah.
I think... Again, it is important that he points out, we keep saying Kane Marco innocent, but he did try to kill Xavier a whole lot of times. And the one time he thought Xavier was already dead, he tried to kill everybody else because he was mad about it.
Well, yeah, but even that was just like, that's trauma. That's him. That's him just not processing it correctly, you know?
And again, also about the Claremont Cyclops thing, he was trying to remove Cyclops from the X-Men. Like, yes, I think you're right, Weapon Jason, that he was bringing Scott back some, like an occasional story to be like, yeah, this life follows you. The decisions you made while you were in it will still haunt you afterwards, History of Violence style. But he was trying to have characters grow out of and graduate the X-Men. He didn't want Scott to come back. And I think it's really important we establish that with listeners before we get to a few episodes from now.
And then finally, I have no idea what this is in reference to, Matt, but he says also, Matt's laugh is totally evil villain. Pat, yours is definitely more heroic. Just saying.
Fuck. That's weird because in life, I'm generally the more heroic one and you're more the villainous one. Everyone
I know.
Says
new email. Time to move on, Matt. Sweet Douglas.
Hey, Sweet Douglas.
Sent us in an email with the subject line Winners League. Hey, Pat. Tell Matt that since the Winners League has so many Canadians, that maybe we could have our own Alpha Flight. Or since we all write so many letters, Alphabet Flight? He goes on about Warlock. As a character, he greets me the same way Jar Jar Binks does.
No.
I can see where that comes from. I disagree because he's adorable and Jar Jar Binks was not. But I can see the sort of like wacky, miscommunicative, fish out of water sort of comparison there.
But also Warlock kind of fits in with the New Mutants, where Jar Jar Binks did not fit in with the Star Wars characters. And Warlock is a true hero, and the Jar Jar Binks... Yeah, no. I can see the similarities, but I also very heartily disagree. I think there's too many dissimilarities.
Yeah. Thank you, Sweet Douglas. So sweet.
So sweet. What a sweet Douglas.
Ambitious Eric is up next, Matt. He says, I raced to my computer to type this email. Hey, Pat, tell Matt the blonde wizard in DC Comics is John Constantine, rhymes with wine. John Constantine rhymes with ween, looks like Keanu Reeves. What?
Huh.
Is there...
All right, just keep going. We got to ignore that part.
Is that real?
I don't.
Are there two characters that he's talking about?
Is this like the Aleister Crowley thing? Everyone calls him Crowley, but it's Crowley.
Expand on this just because what the fuck are you talking about?
It's John Constantine.
He says, I am from the Midwest. Great Lakes Avengers forever. So another Midwestern. I don't think we knew that about Ambitious Eric, but another Midwesterner.
Another Midwesterner. We got Midwesterners and we got Canadians. We got one big circle of humans.
To Matt's credit, Jim Fuck is probably the best Grim Fluter name in a while. I laughed out loud. People might have heard me.
I don't know who that is.
Thank you, Ambitious Eric. We got to keep moving here. Just a couple more to get to. Number one, Inkmaster, in response to episode 65, says, Hey, Pat. Tell Matt that I think Julie Power's Rainbow Trail is possibly meant to be cyan, magenta, and yellow based on the subtractive CMYK color model.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
Color my yams.
Karen.
Color my yams, Karen.
Color my yams, Karen.
To explain for Pat, adipose tissue is what body fat is made up of. Matt didn't know that.
You think he'd know that?
All right. I would still argue that being able to create stone that you can encase in iron still isn't a loophole, as it doesn't appear to be something all Fae can do and is either specific to dwarves or specific to that dwarf. That one's for you, Matt.
So it's not. Why bring it? Okay, all right. I'm with you in that. Okay, fine. Mutants have special abilities. So if you are a mutant Fae, having the ability to create a barrier between you and iron, fine. Like, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, that's what a mutant Fae might be. But
point for Inkmaster.
But they made a point of like reminding us that Fae are weak to iron right before they just like eliminated that element from the equation, which is what made it feel like a loophole, right? Like, why be like, vampires need to be invited into a house? This actually isn't a house. Like, okay, well then why did you need to tell me? Vampires need to be invited in. There's no walls, so the vampire can just walk in. I don't need to know the rule then.
Interesting. So if we're just speaking facts, if we're speaking about the facts that you were arguing, Inkmaster's right here. He goes on, he says, in this ongoing saga, as for my laptop, I still don't have it back yet, but the new LCD cable came in the same day the last episode went out, so progress is still being made.
Pray for Inkmaster's laptop.
If I don't have it back by the time this episode airs, I should have it the weekend after it airs. Please keep us posted, Inkmaster. You need that.
Everybody.
Laptop.
I'm not religious in any way, but I will be praying for Inkmaster's laptop, and I want you all, whether you're religious or not, to do it too.
Don't do it. If you're not religious, it won't do anything.
Do it. Do it though.
Finally, Matt, we have a brand new emailer calling himself.
Tell me they're not Canadian.
Calling himself the Canadian Sun.
What the fuck?
Hey, Matt.
Number one podcast for Canadians.
Hey, Matt. Tell Pat to tell Matt that my father. Hang on a second. No, it's your first time, Canadian Sun. The formatting is Hey, Pat, please tell Matt.
Canadian Sun, you really... Some people come out swinging with their formatting.
This is a swing.
Choices. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, Matt, tell Pat to tell Matt that my father, Canadian Dan, has recommended me your show.
Oh.
Wow. Canadian Dan doing exactly what we told him to. At the dinner table, to your family. Don't let them talk about anything else until they confirm they will listen to the Mutant Menace podcast.
Do you guys talk about Mutant Menace at the dinner table?
Ooh, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that.
Wait, everybody, hold on. 2 things we need from you. This is the only 2 things. If we ask you anything else this episode, we need you to at least do these 2 things. Number 1, pray for Inkmaster's laptop. Number 2, tonight, after listening to this episode, you have to, no matter who you're having dinner with, no matter where, no matter when, no matter what, you have to bring up this episode of Mutant Menace. Hey, I was listening to Mutant Menace today. You have to do that at dinner.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Matt. Finally, this is what's going to put us on the map. Finally.
We spent $300 emailing flyers to every comic book shop in America, and we got 10 listeners.
We forgot about the dinner table.
Will get us 100 more.
Okay, Canadian Sun goes on. I have enjoyed your show very much and had many laughs. Also, don't mind my father. He tries to put down that Canadian stereotype of being nice, but he wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Aw.
Sincerely, Canadian Sun, sent from my iPhone. And that, Matt, is the end of Pat's Email Corner.
Do we normally reference Pat's Email Corner after it's over? Like after the piano plays?
I'm not sure, but if we don't, then I'm just trying something new.
All right. Hey.
If we do, then yes, you idiot.
What is art if not experimentation?
That's right. Matt,
what?
Speaking of doing something new, I got to ask you.
Please.
Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
Pat, as a matter of fact, I actually really have. I got the Nintendo Switch 2 for my birthday.
Sure. That's exciting.
And I did get the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Pokopia. It's like if Pokemon was a Animal Crossing or like a Minecraft or like a Stardew Valley. Like it's like a little town sim and like farming sim, and you like each Pokemon will come, like you have to build habitats that'll attract Pokemon, and then they ask you to do little tasks for them, and you're sort of like exploring this giant area, and you're building this whole little Pokemon town, and it's just a very new, novel way to collect Pokemon. So that is my Pokemon related thing this week.
No, Matt.
What?
It's got to be X-Men related.
What?
We're doing
this is
X-Men related.
We do Pokemon related. All right, fine. Well then what the fuck? Okay, fine. Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
I have actually, Matt. Something really actually X-Men related. Not like the way that you said it, but the way that
I said Pokemon, and I know I said Pokemon, and anyone can rewind and they can say, you asked me if I did anything Pokemon related, and I said, yes, I did.
Okay.
It's really good, Pokopia.
I, thank you for asking, did do a little comic book shopping, Matt. And you know what I picked up?
Hell yeah.
Frankly, I'm always comic book shopping. I spend money that I don't have on comic books. But you know what I picked up?
Huh.
Brian Michael Bendis's Secret War. Yes, at the end.
Holy shit, the one that he did back in was that 2005, 6?
Yes, so somewhere in the early aughts. That, kicks off the entire series of events that he and I think Jonathan Hickman are known for. Like it's Secret War leads into House of M. There's really strong connections there, as well as Disassembled, which all kind of merges itself into Secret Invasion and eventually Civil War. And then
it was
all
like
the other shit they get into after that.
It was like a bunch of Marvel characters who were hired by Nick Fury to undertake a mission in Latveria.
Yeah, to overthrow the government of
and
Latveria.
They couldn't, and it had to be done secretly because they didn't want to start an international incident and a war between the two countries.
Yes, and I got the trade, so it's got a lot of supplemental information, and they make a huge deal about it being a true story that Bendis learned from a family friend that was in the CIA that told him about stuff they shouldn't have been telling him about. But essentially, this all happened, just not with superheroes.
Yeah, interesting. Was it good?
It is.
I mean, I've read it. I know it was good, but how did you feel about it?
It's very good. It is when Brian Bendis was still young and scrappy and was really doing things that were different with comics. And it's got all his favorite characters in it, which tend to line up a lot with all my favorite characters. The Daredevil, Luke Cage, Wolverine, Captain America. All the
big boys.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Man, there was a time when Brian Bendis was the best writer going, or one of them. It's like the Jeff Johns thing, right? Where Bendis and Jeff Johns they did it at the same time, where they were doing these really cool, radical things with superhero comics, but still within the bounds of superhero comics.
Yes,
and then they did it so much that became the standard. And they were each writing 1,000 titles at once. And then it just became so fucking boring. It became so boring. By the time Bendis was on like X-Men and Iron Man and stuff, it was like, I don't want to read a Bendis comic ever again.
Yeah, I've read enough dialogue for the rest of my life.
Right. And same with Jeff Johns. I know Green Lantern is considered like one of his like opus, but I had already read all of JSA and Stars and Stripe and Hawkman and The Flash. And so by the time I was reading Green Lantern, I was like, it's just more Jeff Johns. It's just more.
Also, he turned out to be super racist. So Jeff Johns, not Brian Bendis.
That's true. We don't know about
not Brian Bendis yet.
I'm pretty sure Brian Bendis is not super racist. Well, Pat, that's a cool X-Men related thing.
Thank you.
Not as good as mine, but
I don't remember what yours was.
But Matt. All right, Pat.
All right.
Will you fucking read me Alpha Flight 24 already?
Matt, I was going to say it. I will read you Alpha Flight number 24 already.
Okay.
Final Conflict.
That's my favorite Conflict album. It really is. It actually is. Look it up. It's a good album.
Story and pencils John Byrne, embellishing Bob Wyacek, coloring Andy Yankus, lettering Rick Parker, editing Dennis O'Neill, and Peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper. Never heard of him.
Release date April 2nd, 1985. Cover date July 1985.
Do you remember when that guy wrote a fantasy novel and clearly just Googled, like had included some recipe for soup in the novel and clearly just Googled it? And it was a Breath of the Wild Zelda recipe.
Red Liz Fallow's Tales or whatever.
Yeah, and key swings. It's so ridiculous. Okay.
All right. Heather, this is Alpha Flight number 24, remember. Heather.
Chapter 1.
It's divided into chapters.
The second you see that, you're
so
like,
fucking pretentious.
Like, no.
This is like 18 pages. You have 6 chapters.
I think there's one chapter that is just an argument between North Star and Shaman. It's like chapter 2, they argue, and then it's like chapter 3.
Heather, Puck, Talisman, Aurora, and Snowbird gather in a weird crater with Walter's body encased in some kind of stone. Talisman sends out a magic summons that forces Shaman and Northstar to show up, and neither of them are happy about it.
It's just like it compels people to to show up to help, like a D&D spell.
Yeah. I can't believe this is the first time she's thought to use that she can compel people to her will, and with everything they've been through. Pulling some sort of magic key from his bag, Shaman breaks a barrier and they all traverse the dimensional rift, leaving Heather behind with Walter's body. There's a really good moment where Shaman is like, all right, you're about to see things that you have never seen before. This is interplanar travel. This is going to be almost too much to look at. And Puck's like, oh, well, I imagine it to kind of look like this from all the reading I've done. And Shaman's like, what? Okay, there are other realms that look like that. Yes, that's not the realm we're going to. I love Puck.
Like Puck is just like a little smarter than Shaman, and Shaman's like, no.
Yeah, no, it's not like that, but you're not wrong.
You're not okay. I can't say he's wrong, but no, this is different. I know about it. You don't.
They arrive in a vast psychedelic city in the realm of the great beasts, a world once inhabited, pillaged, and corrupted by the beasts before they moved onto Earth.
This is this is just such a, so far, we're already on chapter 3, by the way.
Yeah.
so far, John Byrne is just like taking the hero's journey, like he must have just read Joseph Campbell like that week, because he's taking it so literally. He's like, he has the gathering of the heroes. He has the heroes, the refusal of the call. Like North Star's literally like, I will leave. And then that's why
I'm going to refuse this call.
Exactly. And then they're like crossing the first barrier. Like, we have to cross the first barrier. And then, like, it is, every moment of this story is so literally the steps of the hero's journey that it's actually absurd.
So the beasts moved onto Earth. They were driven back 3 times, the last of which trapped them and the ancient gods of the North in this realm. The realm of the beasts.
And it's all black and white. It's kind of cool looking.
It is kind of cool looking. Although there's also, once again, a reason to not have to do too much work on the comic to get it. Northstar, Aurora, and Snowbird go searching for Walter when they run into Soman, the Artificer, the oldest and most powerful of the beasts.
Okay.
When Snowbird taunts him, he summons Karyuk and Tolamak, along with a resurrected Tundra, to attack the other 3 teammates. They fight the beasts as Snowbird turns into a polar bear, attacking Soman. This causes Soman to lose control, and the great beasts begin fighting each other. Shaman must tame Snowbird's polar bear form, because if she kills Soman, the realm will crumble and they will never find Walter. Now fully cucked, the pitiful Soman directs the team to the Well of Sorrows, where they can find Walter's soul. Whew. A lot happening here, but there's another moment for Snowbird where she's fighting Soman, the greatest of the great beasts. In her human form, and starts losing, and then she has to remember, like, oh wait, I could turn into a fucking polar bear, and then she does it. And then wins handily. They have to stop her from killing him.
There's a lot of cool action in this issue. And I don't dislike the story, because it is just the hero's journey, right? There's there's an atonement. There's every step is here. There's clearly at this point we're in the innermost cave, and there will be a mastery of 2 worlds. All of it's there, and return with the elixir, everything. But this is also one of the worst written Alpha Flight issues we've had here. There's just mistakes everywhere. There's a point where Shaman is like, then we'll have to deal with the beast. and it never finishes. Nothing interrupts him.
Yeah,
it's just them. Yes, just as if they didn't. There's a scene where they use the word "here" like 4 times, and like, here lie the souls of those who are here, and here they lie, and also here also is the place where he was sent here. It's just like in one panel the word "here" is there 4 times, and here lies being 3 of them, and not in a poetic way.
This issue was very much for the art, not for the dialogue.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I think John Byrne got really into what he was drawing, maybe so much so that it actually couldn't be colored because he had to take all that time to line and ink it.
Right.
And then he had to rush through the dialogue just to be like, okay, I know what's happening here. I should try to explain it.
There's a lot of dialogue, and it is almost all bad. Like this is probably his worst written issue.
Back on Earth, Box appears in the crater, responding also to Talisman's summons. Everybody shows up and is like, what a pain in the ass. I did not know you could do this.
Please don't do this again.
There he finds Heather rambling to herself and Walter's rocky body beginning to crumble.
Oh no.
At the Well of Sorrows.
Not our favorite Walter.
At the Well of Sorrows, they find that Walter can only be saved by one who loves him, one who hates him, and one whose power is greater than Snowbird's. Some sort of ancient riddle.
Hey, conveniently, we have one who is gay, one who is slutty, and one who is a daughter. Just like he's just picking shit that's in the panel.
It's like, yeah. He didn't even look around the room. He just looked down at the table in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
So Aurora, Northstar, and Talisman travel into the dark, but as Puck intuited, it was a trap, and Soman kills all 3 of them. And then Snowbird kills Soman, then some magical stuff happens, and all 3 come back to life, and they find the soul of Walter Langkowski in a glowing ball.
Yeah, just more bullshit. All right, we just have to keep breaking down how dumb this all is. So Puck, when Soman is telling them about all these magical rules, Puck is like, I don't trust it. I think he might be trying to trick us. And then you turn the page, and Soman's like, "Ha ha! I tricked you." And then John Byrne, and he does this a lot. He keeps implying Talisman is like this ultra powerful, like the most powerful character in the Marvel universe, and has this massive, this incredible destiny that's going to change the entire universe. Pat, have you ever fucking seen Talisman in another comic book?
I didn't know who she was until we started reading Alpha Flight.
Yeah, she has no impact in the Marvel universe whatsoever. She appears sometimes, and she has absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And then the Walter's soul trapped. So they go through all this shit in the Well of Sorrows, and they get out, and the world is crumbling. And then Shaman's like, wait, above us this entire time, there's been a glowing ball. What if that's Walter's soul? And they're like, and then it's Walter's soul. Jesus Christ, man.
The great beast, the boss beast, said, go into the Well of Sorrows. That's where you'll find it. And then he revealed that he was lying, but they didn't know what else to do with themselves after they killed him. So they're like, I guess we'll just go to the Well of Sorrows.
But they also use Soman's words in like a really obtuse way to be like, what if he was talking about this the whole time? And it's like, then if he was just lying and trapping you, why would he have also given you clues? Is he the fucking Riddler?
As the realm of the beasts crumbles around them, they teleport back to Earth, only to find Walter's body a pile of rubble.
Yay! I mean,
they're sad. Yeah, Shaman has an idea, though. If Roger hops out of the box robot, they can put Walter into it. It works. His soul is now inside the box robot. But now that the great beasts are gone, Snowbird has no purpose anymore, so she disappears. But later we find her in Doug Thompson's house, ready to be human for the first time.
Yeah, they're doing some kissing.
They are.
She says, "Teach me to be a woman."
Oh boy,
that's how it ends.
She told all of it, just to be clear here. She told all of Alpha Flight, like, okay, my time on Earth is done. I'll see you later. And then just went to just went to Doug's apartment.
Yeah. And I mean, not a bad twist, provided, that Snowbird is out of the picture for a while, right? Like, we probably won't see her again for a while. Otherwise, that whole ending is meaningless, right? So, like,
right.
We probably won't see her again for a while.
Yes.
Sorry, I know I keep saying obvious stuff to you. I don't know why I do this. We also get some disconfirmation about our theory that he was intentionally making Walter a dipshit.
Yes.
Because
apparently Walter has a great and noble soul.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true. I know that John Byrne created and has exclusively written him, but I don't think that's true. I think he's wrong on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just evidence that he doesn't realize what's shitty about Walter Langkowski.
Yeah, he thinks this is normal dude behavior.
John Byrne thinks that Walter Langkowski is cool as hell. And he's like, I'm going to make the noblest soul I can make. And it turns out to be a shitty, sexist jock who's bad at science and keeps getting all his friends killed.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well,
what makes me even more angry about Walter Langkowski is that we don't get to see Roger Box in the box robot. There were like 3 separate issues that touched on the progress of him building this robot so that he could finally kick ass in a way that he's never done before. And then the first time we see him after that, he just has to give up the robot to Walter Langkowski.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, do you want me to move forward and tell you about Alpha Flight number 24? Awful Flight number 25? Yeah. And graves give up their dead.
Ellipses at the start and the end of this title.
And graves give up their dead. John Byrne, story and pencils. Bob Wyashek, inking. Rick Parker, lettering. Andy Yankas, coloring. Denny O'Neill, editing. John J, editor-in-chief. And Bill Mantlo, creative kibitzing? What the fuck?
Yeah, it seems like this is where the transition starts. It seems like we'll talk about it more at the end, but John Byrne starts prepping the team for Bill Mantlo's takeover here.
Okay, release date April 30th, 1985. Cover date August 1985.
Matt, I am 3 days from being alive when this came out.
Wow. Okay. So
I was only dead for 3 more days.
You're coming up on the end of your death.
Yeah.
North Star. God, I like North Star. I love North Star. Just looking at North Star standing around, I'm like, that's a fucking cool figure. That's a cool outfit. That's a cool dude. Would you like any superhero team? You'd like this guy on it.
I don't know what you see in this guy, but
North Star stands before the members of Alpha Flight, accused by his sister of being a criminal.
For what? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal?
It's his terrorist activities.
It's his connection to radical groups, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know shit about it. And why is he standing before a tribunal of Alpha Flight members having to explain himself?
He asks this. He's like, is this a trial? because I see no one here who I acknowledge to have the authority to pass judgment over me. Fuck yeah, North Star.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Well, but then Puck is there. Like, Puck and Roger Box and Heather Hudson. All right, a lot of people here too.
They have some authority.
Like Shaman, Walter Langkowski, Aurora, not really. But Roger Box and Puck and Heather, they kind of are cooler. Like, they are,
cops? I don't know what you're getting at here.
Cool. They're just cool people.
They're cool. They're people that I would be them. Like, okay, you can talk to North Star like this.
Yeah, he should respect those three, if no one else.
Sorry, just one more thing before we move on.
Please.
Right out of the gate, the coloring is so loud for these first few pages. Like the first splash page is North Star in his black and white high contrast uniform against a bright red background, like no detail or anything, just bright red panel with black and white,
like a spotlight on him.
Yeah. And it hurts. And then the entire time we stay in their office, this coloring pattern continues. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like bright pink and shit all over the place. And yeah, it's real rough. No time for that now, though. As Puck pretty anticlimactically tells the group that Guardian is not dead. And is, in fact, fighting downtown. What? Why would you do that to a grieving widow? Just like... She says something like, she's like, ever since Guardian died, and he's like, not so fast.
Actually, now that you mention that,
you might want to rephrase that because your husband's running around alive. Like, how insensitive.
He's the guy from, he does it like the guy from Independence Day that tells the president that UFOs are real by going, that's not entirely true.
They rush to the scene where Talisman and Guardian, James McDonald, have teamed up to take down Caliber. Why would you send to take down Caliber? He's a man in a robot suit. Why would you send Talisman after him?
Magic?
Of all people.
To stop his magic?
In case he has any magic, Talisman. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I'm pretty sure he's like a techno guy. Nope, he might do a spell. I saw a robot guy do a spell once. Heather's in shock and faints when James moves in for a reunion kiss, waking back up in the office on the couch with James attending to her.
Everybody else is being really cool about it.
Is that, oh, he's back. Cool.
Like, cool. What's up, dude?
Okay, he tells her a story. A story that's like 8 pages long. It's like
it's very long. We're getting a lot of lore heavy stuff through this run.
And we're gonna have more to say about this story in an issue or two. But he tells her a story. It turns out with less than a second left before his suit exploded, he realized he could program the explosion to rip through space and time, sending him to Ganymede, one of Jupiter's moons, thousands of years in the past. He kind of died there, but was revived by a race of ancient aliens who became his friends and then cryo-froze him so he could return home to his normal time. The only problem is that the aliens didn't know what a human was, so they repaired him. They didn't know the difference between his parts and suit parts. Now he's a part mechanical suit.
Oh, no!
Okay, so...
We get...
The reason she saw a dead James Hudson is because he carbonized the air, Pat. He did that. He carbonized the air.
Yes.
He just carbonized the air.
That's why she thought he was dead. It was actually carbonized air.
Carbonized air.
This is, again, like, focusing a lot more on the art and a lot less on the... actual story. We do get 8 pages of just some weird science fiction story that John Byrne wanted to tell and really has no impact on the plot at all. We'll have more to say about it in the next issue, but it's kind of beautiful. It's like the art of the moons of Jupiter is super cool. Like he clearly spent days putting this all together, making this really cool visual story. The aliens are non-humanoid, Matt. They're like squid, but they're actually squid-like and not like people with squid
it's like
features.
Hair. It's like squid, but like made out of hair or angel hair pasta.
Yeah. It's weird stuff. And then like the revelation that he's actually in the ancient past, which he didn't realize at first, and the like death and rebirth cycle that he goes through. Stuff's really cool, I think. Really, I complained a lot in the early days of this podcast about them not being willing to dig into science fiction concepts and like fully explore how weird and creative you can get. He's doing that here.
Sure.
Just without a point.
Again, it's just like he's so bored of Alpha Flight, he just comes up with a completely different story. And it's just like, I'm going to tell that instead. And it's also worth noting, very, very hilariously. So it was 10,000 years in the past, so there's no trace of these aliens left on Ganymede. The society tore themselves apart while he was cryo-frozen. His spaceship. But he found a spaceship. His spaceship, when it hit the water, when it hit the ocean, it disintegrated on impact.
Right. The spaceship that he found that they had left behind for him before they tore their society apart.
And they got rid of his old costume, and he found this new costume in like a random cabin. So like every scrap of evidence that this is true, there's a reason here why it can't be verified. Not quite meanwhile. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either. It's what John Byrne said. Not quite meanwhile.
Outside, Walter is punching rocks in the box robot body.
What a dork.
Just for fun. That's what I do.
That's all he does.
While Roger Box observes and worries a little. Walt's having a great time until he realizes he can't have sex with Aurora in this robot body. She tells him, this is something I will have to think about. As she flies off, leaving him dejected. But not all hope is lost. Roger has an idea that might allow them to return Walter to a human, or at least penis-having body. To be continued.
Ooh.
So, Box is like, when she's like, okay, so much to talk about here. First of all,
in this Aurora's epilogue.
I'm not sure I love you anymore if you don't have a penis. Like that, it is literally 2 pages about him not having a penis. And she's like, I don't know if I can love you without a penis. And he's like, oh, fuck, I gotta get a penis. But does this change your mind at all about Aurora, the scene where Aurora said she wanted to have sex with all the construction workers? And you were like, no, that's not what she meant.
No. This is
all she cares about is penis.
It's not all it's a deal breaker for her, which
is all she cares about.
But it's not like she runs off to have sex with someone else immediately. She flies off just to, I guess we don't actually know that. But no, this does not definitively, I think, say anything about that situation.
And then Box is like, when she flies off, he's like, Walter's like, I gotta get a penis. And Box like, man, it'll be decades before I have that kind of technology. It's just like, oh, I don't know how to make a sex robot, Mr. Langkowski.
Poor Roger Box just has to sit there and watch Walter abuse his body. Like, he's worried when Walter's just running around punching rocks. He's like, this isn't really designed for recreation like this, man. And Walter just doesn't hear it. And immediately after is like, all right, well, time to go have some fucking sex in this thing. This is not your body. Don't do this. And the whole time Roger Box is like, no, please don't do that.
You can't get it wet. And then it turns out he was speaking prophetically in a way he didn't realize.
Well, You mean like
all right,
because
Pat.
you can't have sex with it? Is that what you mean?
Do you want to tell me about the next Awful Flight issue?
Sure. Awful Flight number 26. We should actually save that for when Bill Mantlo takes over. It's still
You're right. This is still Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight number 26. If at first you don't succeed.
Yes.
Oh, John Byrne, writer, pencils.
Include that in the next issue's title.
No, maybe this precedes the last. If at first you don't succeed and graves give up their dead. What was the
Final conflict.
Final conflict. John Byrne, story and pencils, Bob Wyacek inking, Rick Parker lettering, N.T. Yankus coloring, Dennis O'Neill editing, and John Barron, editor-in-chief. Release date June 4th, 1985. I live, Matt. I'm alive.
Oh.
Cover date September 1985.
What did you think of this issue when you were little then?
I loved it.
Okay. when you were
I was 1 month and 1 day old. The newest incarnation of Alpha Flight, led once again by Guardian and with Walter Box among them, are fighting a bunch of robots at a Canadian Army base. But it turns out just to be a training exercise.
They got me!
The government wanted to test their new macrobots against a real threat. During battle, Guardian gets a little careless and Aurora is hurt. So Walter Box and Walter Box. Walter inside box. Walter Box. So Walter Box and Shaman take her to a medical bay while the rest of the team take off following a summons from Heather.
We could also call him Penisless Walter.
They're fighting these robots, and it turns out to be a test fight. But before we learn that, Guardian calls them the Bozo Brigade. That's so good.
Bozo Brigade. They turn into a like Transformer robot, like they all, or like a Voltron. Yeah. They all join together into a big robot. Yeah.
They arrive at the massive West Edmonton Mall. Matt, have you heard of this? Have you heard of this?
Have you heard of this thing?
Have you heard of this thing? We're both doing Jimmy Stewart hosting.
Have you heard?
Well, have you heard of this West Edmonton Mall?
No, tell me about the West Edmonton Mall.
Well, it was I can't. Well, weird, wild stuff. It was the largest mall in the world. It was the largest mall in the world until 2004. Generally filled with shops, restaurants, and like amusement park stuff.
Okay.
In America, we have the Mall of America. This sounds a lot like that, where it's just like big, super big mall that has like fun things to do.
Yeah.
Because Matt, you and I have one of the largest malls in the country near us, but there's nothing fun to do there.
The King of Prussia Mall.
That's right. There's no. They don't have rides. Well, this mall, the West Edmonton Mall, was completed in 1981. It went through a few phases of building, but there was a big update in 1985, which is why it's kind of on the map. Clearly, I think.
Oh,
we're just getting John Byrne's impressions of the mall as if like they just have the characters walk around going like, "This is the biggest damn mall I've ever seen." And just like petty, very John Byrne. Like
they even have a pool in this mall.
But get this, Matt. 1 year after releasing this issue, there was a tragic accident on the roller coaster. June 1986. So
June 1986.
Yeah. You know of anything else that happens in June 1986?
It's like John Byrne also uses some like his characters as his political mouthpiece again about his feelings about the West Edmonton Mall. They're like, I don't know if I should be impressed or grossed out about all the money and effort they used up to make this place.
Yes. Yeah. There's 2 pages of the characters just walking around saying things like that.
Yeah, just like talking about like the politics of building
malls. So they arrive at the West Edmonton Mall to find North Star is currently fighting a reformed Omega Flight. The 3 decide to split up and search the mall.
Okay.
Puck, runs into his old Gamma Flight teammate, Diamond Lil. Diamond Lil's back.
Diamond Lil's back.
I love her. And just as he's about to kick her in the face, he finds himself suspended in midair. An off-screen figure gloats and, with a wave of its hand, catapults Puck off into the distance.
Who's that? Who could that be?
Talisman runs into Flashback. Remember this guy? Flashback, who
oh my God.
who summons his future selves, as many as he needs to multiply himself.
Which was a blatant ripoff of the character Legion from Captain Alan Moore's Captain Britain. Right. And the difference here is that Flashback, some of his doppelgangers from the future are wearing an inverted costume.
Oh, yeah.
Like some is black on top and white on the bottom, and some is white on top and black on the bottom, which means that every now and then he has to remind himself to change costumes in case he gets
in case he gets picked out of time.
And he's like, it looks cooler when I do it this way.
Well, he's nailing it. He's always the one in black, and somehow, despite not being able to control it, always pulling out the ones dressed in white.
Yeah, yeah.
Talisman runs into Flashback, who says something racist at her and quickly surrounds her with his temporal doubles. Talisman is planning a counterspell when a beam strikes her from above from a red and white costumed hand.
Huh? Who could that be?
Red and white costumed hand, Matt. It means you see the hand of a costume, and that costume is colored red and white.
I can't think of anyone with a red and white costume.
We catch up with North Star, whose flight is interrupted by Wild Child. North Star winds up to tackle him, but slams directly into an invisible force field. A red and white costumed butt tells us that they have one more plan to execute before Omega Flight's rendezvous.
I don't know anyone with a red and white costumed butt.
I think you do, Matt. Think about it. Think hard.
I'm thinking so hard, Pat.
Heather is walking through a comic book store looking for bad guys when Guardian shows up in front of her. She starts briefing him on the situation when his voice suddenly changes. She recognizes it. It's the voice of Jerry Jackson, but he's dead. So Guardian pulls off his face and reveals that he's actually not James Hudson or Jerry Jackson. He's the android Delphine Courtney, and she's here to destroy Alpha Flight. To be continued.
No.
I thought that was a cool twist. I didn't know what was going on here. I was suspicious of this Guardian.
Okay.
I think because the first thing he does is kiss Heather, and I was like, oh, this is bad news. Because she doesn't immediately embrace him. It wasn't she passes out. It wasn't a happy kiss.
Yeah.
But the reveal that it's actually Delphine Courtney and she's actually a complex robot that has like a personality and emotions and can do amazing things. What a cool reveal.
Yeah. I wondered if it would work on you because you had said from the very beginning you didn't think Guardian was going to stay dead. And then we had a funeral for him and he was fully dead and you were surprised by that. And so I thought when he came back, you would fully buy into the fact that this is Guardian.
I will say from the point that we saw him a few issues ago when he was running away from Heather, like they just spotted him in the street, until he went in for that kiss, I was like, I fucking told you. But then the way that it played out, I was just like, this is fishy. Something's wrong. I smelled it. I could smell it on the comic book.
So wait, hold on, Pat. Let's go back to last issue for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Because that means that entire fucking story, that 1930s sci-fi pulp novel story about her resurrection, she just sat and wrote all that, made it all up. She's like, and then what if I ended up in Jupiter And then I met a bunch of aliens who actually loved me and fell in love with me and could communicate telepathy. And I learned their language, but it was way in the past. And I had to freeze myself for 10,000 years.
See, the thing is, she started lying. Started realizing the holes that were in the lie and just kept telling the story until she was pretty sure she covered all of them. Yeah, no, it was an explosion, but that explosion could tear through space and time
and carbonize the air.
So you would think I was dead, but I was actually on the moon of Jupiter. And I didn't go home because it was 10,000 years ago. She's making this up as she goes.
Yeah, and we had to read like fucking 8 pages of it.
Yes, we did. And
none of it matters ever again because it wasn't real. Those characters, we will never meet those aliens because they were made up by a robot.
Stupid.
So,
Matt,
all right. Yeah.
Can we move on?
So, if at first you don't succeed was last issue. And this completes the sentence. If at first you don't succeed, Alpha Flight 27, Betrayal.
Oh, if at first you don't succeed, Betrayal. That's
John Byrne, story and art. Keith Williams, inking assist. And he Yankus, coloring. Rick Parker, lettering. Dennis O'Neill, editor. And John Rutledge, editor-in-chief. Release date, July 2nd, 1985. Cover date, October 1985. Delphine Courtney revels in her victory over Alpha Flight. Heather, the only one still conscious, points out that there are other members they're not accounting for, which was what caused them to lose last time. But Delphine counters, did they not succeed last time? Wasn't the point to kill James McDonald? Really fucking good comeback, dude.
Yeah, she's got you there. And that's got a cut, too, because it's also about dead husband.
Oh, poor dead husband. No matter, though, they've already accounted for the other members and will be using Talisman to contact her father. Back at the office, Shaman helps Aurora heal while Roger and Walter work on finding a mindless humanoid body to transfer Walter's consciousness into. They think they've found one. Pat.
Ooh.
It is a Who's That Pokemon.
Yeah, it's just like a silhouetted outline of a mindless humanoid body.
It's the Hulk. It's obviously the Hulk. You can tell from the first fucking second. You're reading a Marvel comic. You know what the Hulk looks like. Oh, Talisman also tells Delphine Courtney, go climb your thumb, creep. I don't know what it means, but I really, really like it.
You know what's funny here is... For the big reveal, Delphine had to tear off the James McDonald mask like it was melded to her skin. She had a second one lying around because at the beginning of this issue, she's back to James McDonald.
she's like, damn it, I have to get a new one. I have to get everybody wait. Did he have blue eyes or brown? You know what? I'll just. So suddenly, Shaman is hit with a wave of psychic pain from his daughter and teleports himself, Walter, and Aurora right to the West Edmonton Mall. They find Guardian standing before them, explaining to them that everything's fine and normal, just long enough to snatch the medicine bag off Shaman's side.
He has them stood up like Weekend at
Bernie's. Yeah, there's a whole Weekend at
all
Bernie's
of the unconscious Alpha Flight just like in the distance being held up like scarecrows.
And you know, if we had it, she probably had one of them like wave.
Yeah.
It's just like their limp unconscious bodies being held up by the members of Beta Flight, like Gamma, Omega Flight, whatever flight.
Yeah.
Courtney, as Guardian, flies away, digging through the pouch, trying to find Smart Alec. She like tricks him into revealing where Smart. She's like, "Hey, I forget, Shaman. Where did Smart Alec go again?" So, yeah, that's right. He's I miniaturized him. He's in my.
I shrunk him down to the size of an action figure, and I keep him in my pocket. I completely forgot about that. What a cruel fate.
So she turns the pouch inside out.
Yeah.
So she turns it inside out, making like this
turns it inside out.
Imagery just pour out and start consuming everything around it, including Aurora and Penisless Walter. Omega Flight, seeing this, drop the unconscious bodies of Alpha Flight and run, leaving the rest of the Alphans. You wrote Alphans here, Pat. Why'd you do this?
Because we've already said flight twice in this sentence.
If you can't beat them, join them. Leaving the rest of the Alphans to be consumed too, Shaman manages to escape with Talisman, telling her she's the only one that can dive into the bag and recover their teammates. He promises her he'll keep her safe. Stop.
How does he know that?
He never learns his fucking lessons. Every turn, every story turn in all of Alpha Flight, Shaman's like, I'll throw my daughter into it.
I know. He's such a shitty father.
Anything bad happens, he's like, well, I'll just throw my daughter into it.
And she's very powerful.
I'll just throw her into the... Hey, you guys stuck down that manhole? Let me throw my daughter down there for a second. Like, he just keeps putting her in these horrible, horrible situations. And then the other thing he didn't learn, this is his whole origin, is that he promised his wife he'd save her from her illness and couldn't. That's why Talisman hates him. And he promised her, like, he keeps promising people shit that he knows he can't do. Stop doing this.
He's full of shit, man.
Anything.
He's a good dude.
You're another Walter Langkowski. But is he a good dude? He keeps lying to people.
I think in like the cosmic sense, he's a good guy. But I wouldn't want to be friends with him. He's not coming to my party.
He's going to keep throwing you in cosmic voids. And he's like, I promise I'll get you out. She dives in and talks about how weird it is, but recovers the team and sends them back out. Shaman, outside, manages to start pushing the inside bag back into itself. But when Talisman reaches for Shaman's hand to be pulled out, they're zapped, and Elizabeth falls back in, drowning in the mystical energy. Of course. Obviously. Of course.
Yeah.
Turns out Snowbird had also heard Elizabeth's psychic call and came rushing, only to be immediately held hostage by Courtney as guardian.
And then she's just standing there. She's just standing there letting him hold her by the throat. She could crush him.
Yeah, she's a goddess. Hey, wait, why is Snowbird back already? Didn't she go away like last issue?
Right. She got the psychic call. She had to come back.
Oh my God.
It takes one panel for everybody to be like, oh, I guess you're still on Earth. All right.
They're getting ready to snap Snowbird. Delphine Guardian is getting ready to snap Snowbird's neck when Shaman reaches into the mystical energy, and instead of pulling Elizabeth out, like a good person, he pulls out a weird magical slime to throw at Courtney and free Snowbird. It is literally like he has a choice. It's like, I can save Elizabeth or I can save Snowbird.
And he chooses to save Snowbird. He's choosing his job over his family. Is the pretty hard to miss metaphor.
And she's a goddess. If she dies, she just goes back to the god realm or whatever. Like, fuck off, dude. Guardian and John Byrne thinks what happened here was heroic.
Of course.
His compass is all fucked up. Guardian dashes out of there, and Michael turns to pull his daughter out of the bag, but it's too late. The bag has been turned back inside in, and she's lost in the void.
Oh no.
This is a rough ending, buddy. So, like, it's such a cool cliffhanger, right? Like, I bet they're going to have to go on some big, crazy journey to get Elizabeth back from the pouch dimension. And it's not just going to be like, look, I know it's not that. I know I keep doing this, but like, it's not just going to be some crazy all powerful being shows up and in 2 panels pulls her back out and saves her. And there's actually no plot consequences to this at all.
Matt, you're saying obvious things again.
I know. Why do I do this?
But yeah. You got to break that habit.
I know. Sorry. They wouldn't, no writer on earth would do that. No editor in chief would ever demand that happens, right? Any editor in chief would be like, "Oh no, that is you've delivered you've given a promise to your readers. You have to deliver on it because that's what art and entertainment are for. Like you can't
you're still doing it, Matt. You're just talking common sense. You're just listing common sense things.
All right. Well, I don't want you stop me by
You know what makes me really mad about this?
What's that?
Fighting Omega Flight was Roger Box's dream. He has done all of this just for a chance at a round with Omega Flight himself as revenge for what they did to Guardian. Instead, Walter is in his body getting his ass kicked, just getting sucked into a mystic portal.
Yeah.
Hating him more and more each issue.
Roger would have kicked ass in this.
Yes. And he would have finally gotten some
closure,
some validation, some closure. He needs that. He still feels guilt over all this.
Yeah.
Matt,
you're going to tell me you're going to read Alpha Flight number 28. But I just got to say, this next issue is some of the best and some of the worst we've seen this whole series.
Yeah, this is going to be wild. Get ready for Alpha Flight number 28. Crossover. 2 words, not one. Hyphenated.
Okay. Sure.
John Byrne, words and pictures. Keith Williams, inking assist. He's got to get help on the inks. You got to imagine that, like, if we are following the story that we're making up as we go along here, John Byrne has run out of time. The first 2 issues here, he definitely was missing deadlines. There are uncolored pages. There's so much detail and so poorly thought out dialogue that, of course they were like, you're not doing all your own inks anymore. We're going to bring somebody in just to speed things along.
These are also probably some of the most poorly drawn. There's some cool imagery, but they're probably the most poorly drawn Byrne issues we've seen so far.
Yeah, sure. NT Yankus, colors, Rick Parker, lettering, Dennis O'Neill, editor, and John Wilkes Booth, editor-in-chief. Release date, July 30th, 1985. Cover date, November 1985. Omega Flight runs from the Edmonton Mall after being defeated by Shaman's Pouch and apparently the Beyonder.
Huh?
They bicker about how to continue until a car starts deforming in front of them. Courtney is suddenly terrified. By what? Wonders her crew. By me, responds Madison fucking Jeffries.
So fucking cool.
So fucking cool. Such a good entrance, because he's like a scumbag, and they just find him hanging out in a mall parking lot like a scumbag would.
Yeah.
This look of abject terror comes over Delphine Courtney as Guardian's face. Like it's just
soon
the
as she
emotion,
sees the car deforming.
The emotion on that face makes you say, like, oh shit, Omega Flight is done. They are fucked.
Yes,
even before you know why.
Flashbacks, like, I thought nothing scared you, and then you just cut to Madison Jeffries' face, and he's smirking, and he looks like goddamn Charles Bronson with a Beatles haircut, and he's smirking, and he goes, "Oh, one thing does flashback, me. Hiya, Lil."
Yeah, it's so. Is he smoking a cigarette? In my head, he's smoking a cigarette.
He's not.
He might not actually be.
He's got his hands up like he's snapped to get everyone's attention, and then he just shoves them back into his pockets. And the rest of this, he's just, while he's kicking fucking ass, he's got his hands just in his pockets.
Yeah, he's about to kick ass.
Rules. This is like the best scene. Almost all of Alpha Flight is worth reading for these like 5 pages.
He's angry about the death of Guardian, and he's going to do something about it. With the robot he just made out of a goddamn car. Diamond Lil steps up to fight it, but gets her ass beat. Jeffries, who has affection for her, runs to her to make sure she's okay. He thinks she and Wildchild and possibly Flashback had their minds messed with by Delphine Courtney, and he's here to save everyone.
Yeah.
Just an extra level of cool. Like, he's kicking their asses and then being like, hey, sorry I had to beat the shit out of you. I won't have to do it again if you stop doing this.
Well,
wouldn't that be nice? We could all be friends again.
Well, he's also like, I'm gonna arrest you. I'm gonna arrest you. But I don't want to see you guys hurt. This isn't the real you. Maybe it's the real Flashback, but you and Wildchild are like good people.
Yeah. The car robot keeps going after Courtney, but her guardian suit is still fucked up from her fight with Shaman, so she throws one of Flashback's future selves in front of her.
It's a cool moment if we didn't know it was 100% stolen from Alan Moore.
Damn it.
But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Because he dies and all of Flashback's other copies disappear except his present self, who is distraught, to say the least, that he just watched his own death.
Yeah, we're going to read Captain Britain, I think, maybe early next year.
Okay. And we'll see this happen again,
and we will see, you'll see the scene this was stolen from. It's well represented here. Like it's a cool scene, but it also, like, we know it's stolen, so that sucks.
Yeah. I didn't until you just said that, so sorry. I'm much less excited about it now. But again, just they are nailing the look of utter horror on these characters' faces. Like, he watches his future self die. He knows that in the future, if he ever gets plucked out of this timeline, he very well could die in that experience. He has no idea when or where or how.
He even says it could be an hour from now. It could be a year from now. He has no idea.
Yeah. Ugh. Courtney pleads with Jeffries. She can make him rich. Madison Jeffries doesn't care. He tells her to fuck off and uses his control over machines to make her puke all her robot guts out of her face.
So it rules.
It
fucking rules. His hands are in his pockets. He doesn't give a shit. God damn it.
Jeffries has the robot watch the rest until the police can arrive and heads into the mall to save Alpha Flight. What he sees is some dumb Secret Wars 2 shit. Beyonder saved Talisman and he disappears, basically.
Okay, wait, what the fuck?
I know.
What the fuck? That whole thing, that whole cliffhanger from the last issue that had so much potential, Beyonder just undid it.
Yes, entirely.
God, I fucking hate Secret Wars 2.
Yeah. So who is this guy, Matt? The Beyonder? The Beyonder? How do you say it?
This is the Secret Wars 2 guy. We'll get to it later. We will get so deep into this.
He's ruining every episode
in like a month or two, but it hurts to read shit like this.
So Beyonder saved Talisman. I guess we'll see what happened when we get to Secret Wars 2. But for now, Talisman is furious at Shaman and punches him in the face. He broke his promise again. As she rages, her inner power activates and she teleports all of Alpha Flight away from her back to their base. Turns out she grabbed Jeffries too because he's there.
How did she do that? Anyway,
I don't know
how did you know? But anyway, she's right. She's absolutely right. And it's like
100%.
This could be an understandable thing if he hadn't done this so many times. Any one of those incidents in isolation could be understandable. The fact that it's a pattern that he keeps putting her in these horrible situations and like ruining her life and promising shit to people, making promises he knows he can't guarantee. It's not like he knew he wasn't going to keep the promises, but he knows
that he couldn't make the promise.
He couldn't guarantee this is absolutely, I am absolutely going to keep this promise. But he does it anyway because of his fucking ego. He sucks.
He's a bad dad.
Bad dad.
Good dude, bad dad.
Kind of a bad guy and bad dad.
Heather calls a timeout because everything is so crazy and goes to take a bath. She's a good boss.
She's a good boss.
She understands the importance of taking time off.
Also nude.
Yes, of course nude. She's taking a bath.
Yeah. Well, we see her in the bath, I guess is my point.
Yes, yeah, we do see her nude. But she's pulled back into the chaos when the lights go out. She storms into Roger's lab only to find them doing some crazy experiment to retrieve that mysterious body from another dimension for Walter. They're literally using a fishing pole to pull it out.
Yes, it is a literal. They call it going fishing. It looks like a fishing pole. It's so stupid.
The art reference for using it is somebody trying to reel in a large fish.
Yes, it is. Again, the Madison Jeffries part of this issue was so fucking cool. Everything else in this issue is the dumbest shit we've read so far.
This is also, Walter is there in the box body. This is not something he should be doing. The last 2 times he's tried to do anything like this, he was possessed by a great beast and then accidentally summoned a super Skrull that murdered 5 people.
He's just a fucking, this is the thing. All of Alpha Flight are just guided by their ego at all times. And again, John Byrne thinks that's heroic.
Doesn't know that. Yeah. He's like, oh, this is just the natural thing to do.
This is what heroes do. They would do the most vain thing at any given time to prove themselves important.
Heather.
Yeah.
Our anchor to the ground here demands they stop.
Yeah.
But it's too late. They send Walter's soul through the fishing line and Roger jumps back into box. A second later, the Hulk appears out of the dimensional portal and chops a hole into Box's shoulder. To be continued.
Okay.
Yeah, it's we kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah. That's the end of John Byrne on Alpha Flight. That's the last issue.
That is it.
It's also
so weird.
Denny O'Neil's last issue as editor.
Oh, does he leave Marvel at this time or he just leaves Alpha Flight?
You know, I don't know the answer to that. I know he leaves Alpha Flight, but
you should if you're going to talk about it.
Oh, yeah. And I should know what town he's living in at the time. I should know what.
Right. What's his marriage like at this time? Things going okay? How's his mother? Matt.
Yeah.
I'm tired of goofing around.
Yeah, you've been puffy faffing all day.
I know. And through this whole recording.
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm just gonna steamroll over all the stuff that you're about to say to me, all the important things you think you have to say, and I'm gonna read you.
Here's what I think.
Incredible Hulk number 313, hook, line, and sinker. This is the Incredible
This one
Hulk.
doesn't fit into the sentence because we're switching to Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, this is an Incredible Hulk issue. It's written by stories by Bill Mantlo, art is by Mike Mignola and Gary Talayoc. Letters, Jim Novak. Colors, Bob Sharon. Editor, Carl Potts. And editor-in-chief, William Cushing? Huh. Okay. Release date, August 6th, 1985. Cover date, November 1985. Okay, the first 2/3 of this issue is just the Hulk running and smashing his way through a bunch of psychedelic art while the narrator explains where he is. Essentially, Doctor Strange tried to separate Bruce Banner from the Hulk, which resulted in the full loss of Banner's consciousness, which he was fine with because he wanted to die.
He wanted to die.
Strange then banished the Hulk to the interdimensional crossroads, sort of a stopover for all of reality with portals to infinite other dimensions. Eh, boy. But
it's the art doesn't really match the text at all, because it really is just a summary of what's been happening in Hulk to this point.
Yeah.
And so to provide some visual, it's just the Hulk in front of, I don't know, 10, 15 different types of psychedelic backgrounds,
just
being
punching,
angry.
Yeah, punching like weird trolls and stuff. But Strange didn't actually separate Bruce Banner's consciousness from the Hulk. That's impossible. He just diminished his consciousness to an undetectable level. So when a giant red fishing line attaches itself to Hulk and transfers Walter Langkowski's consciousness into it, Banner is finally actually separated from Hulk, hovering there in astral form. Walter and Bruce explain their whole deal to each other, and Bruce says, hey, just take the Hulk. It's fine. Walter seems to have complete control, and if Banner's fully discorporated, maybe he can finally die.
Finally.
But
just up to this point, I know you get annoyed by the Hulk stuff. I thought this was so cool. And we keep missing the actual Hulk issues where this stuff happens, but at least we get a recap here of just this, like, it's almost like a tragedy. Bruce Banner was basically like, hey, can you kill me? Can you please kill me? Because I'm tired of living. And Doctor Strange was like, I'll do my best. He thought that he killed the Bruce Banner side, banished the Hulk to interdimensions, and it turns out the Hulk is still alive, or Bruce Banner is still alive in there, just watching what's going on. He cannot take control back. And then suddenly Walter Langkowski pops in. And I think the thing that we don't mention here is that Doctor Strange also put like a certain type of magic in, that if the Hulk finds dissatisfaction with the dimension he finds himself in when he's jumping through portals, he is immediately drawn back to the crossroads, so he can just try jumping through a different portal. So it's not meant to kill Hulk. It's meant to give the Hulk like the opportunity to find a planet that understands him, or a dimension that understands him.
Right.
It's kind of pretty.
Yeah. I just care so little about these characters, and the dialogue. The way it's written is so poor. It's just like so wordy and so.
Yeah, that's true. It's very Bill Mantlo.
Fistedly written. But here's another thing. I think Bill Mantlo may also kind of understand Walter Langkowski better than John Byrne did, because Walter completely misses the point here. And that's textual. That's not metatextual. That's not us editorializing. That is the point of this story. Walter misses the point.
Yes.
Banner, he assumes, is just being heroic, offering his own life up to save Walt's. That's what makes him a hero. So Walter understands now, to be a hero in this situation, he should actually sacrifice himself and let Banner keep the Hulk's body. It's just too...
You fucking idiot.
It's just two egotistical idiots arguing over who's the bigger hero.
Well, no, that's... Bruce Banner's point isn't actually like, I'm doing this to be a hero. Bruce Banner is saying, I want to die.
No.
The good side effect here is you taking over the Hulk means that since you have complete control, since you're not just like filled with rage, you could actually use the Hulk's strength for good. Why don't you take this body, go back out into the world?
But that's...
We both get, well, this is a win-win situation because I finally die.
But that's Banner also being a martyr, right? Like the only way for me to solve the Hulk for the world is if I die. It's two people trying to be martyrs at each other.
Sure, but I think the Hulk is at least somewhat justified here.
Right.
Where Walter's just like, oh, if he's doing it, that must be the hero thing to do. So let me do it actually. So I'm the hero.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think Walter's the worst guy here, but Banner tries to explain, like, no, I can't control him. You can. I will kill people if you return me to his body. But Walter's not listening and leaves the Hulk's body, sending his soul into the ether. Tired from all the soul swapping, Hulk is finally weak enough to be reeled in from the crossroads by Alpha Flight. A bunch of fucking idiots. But that just makes him mad again, and we all know what happens when Hulk gets mad. To be continued.
I think so. You and I have two very contrasting notes here at the end of our notes. Yours, I believe, is that sucked, and mine is that was like cosmically funny. I think this is hilarious.
The moment that Walter is like, no, I should sacrifice myself because you're actually the true hero. That is funny and good. The rest of this issue sucked so much ass.
Banner sitting there being like, no, you fucking idiot, stop. And Walter being like, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. You're not going to trick me.
Yeah. It's the winking thing. It's the, oh, so you're saying, don't let you take over the Hulk's body. Wink, 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 wink. It's like, yes,
I'd say must be like,
don't you take the Hulk's body. Okay, I'll take the Hulk's body. Wink, wink, wink. No, stop winking. No, do it.
In his head, he must be thinking like, is all the misdirection part of the hero thing? Should I be doing that too?
Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
Let's wrap things up here. Let's get to our last.
I want to talk about two other things actually real quick. Number one, they talk about at some point Walter says is looking at the Hulk and he's like, he has the physicality to keep Aurora happy. Can the Hulk fuck?
I would imagine he has a son.
Yeah.
I don't know if he could bone down with a human though. That seems like it would be dangerous.
Very dangerous, right? Other thing.
Yeah.
John,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
mutantmennicepod@gmail.com.
Can the Hulk fuck? But first, remember to say your prayers for the laptop and whatever the other thing I said was.
You should be doing that whether you email or not.
Okay. So, John Byrne in like the last issue, or in the issue that Walter transferred into Box's body, Box's robot body, he's like, oh, I feel like a 57 Buick.
Yes.
And then fucking Mantlo,
here in Bill Mantlo's comic,
straight up steals that line.
He says it word for word.
He says it word for word, and he's like, and I woke up in a body. It felt like a 57 Buick. Stop it.
Well, I do think it's very Walter to have said that before and been like, it's pretty good. I'm going to keep saying
it. All right. Fair enough. I retract. That is true. And I did say Bill Mantlo does seem to understand Walter better than Byrne does. So like, yeah. All right. I retract. You're right.
All right, Matt. Should we wrap things up here with our last awful flight, or sorry,
no,
our last Alpha Flight issue, our last Alpha Flight issue of the episode, our first Awful Flight issue.
Yes.
Awful Flight number 29, Cut Bait and Run.
Cut Bait and Run.
Bill Mantlo writer, Mike Mignola, and Jerry Talamac, artist. Talioak. Jim Novak, letterer. Bob Sharon, colorist. Carl Potts, editor. And John Dillinger, editor-in-chief. Did you? Wild.
That's
release
so
date
weird.
September
Why would
3rd,
they let him do that? Why would they let him be the editor-in-chief of Marvel? Is it because of what he did? They were like, this qualifies you.
Everybody deserves a second chance.
It was a prison release program.
Release date September 3rd, 1985. Cover date December 1985. That's my first Christmas, Matt.
Oh wow! Do you remember it? Did you get this issue?
No. No. This was 2 months old by then.
Your parents wouldn't have bought stale, awful flights.
Understandably, The Hulk is pissed for being yanked back from the void of the crossroads, and he instantly punches a hole through Box.
Yeah.
Everything is in turmoil as the Hulk starts smashing everything and everyone in sight. Roger worries that the damage to the Box robot is going to affect his physical body, and Aurora is distraught over the loss of Walter.
They're like, he punched right through you, and he's like, no, guys, I'm not really part of it. But just my mind and body are both fused with it. So, but you guys are wrong. But you guys are wrong. I'm not part of it.
He's wrong. They established this 5-10 issues ago that Roger Box inside of this robot, like phasing inside the robot, meant that he was putting his physical body at risk. Yep. If the robot loses an arm, he's probably also losing an arm.
Wait, you're telling me Bill Mantlo misunderstood something and then wrote it as if it was the canon?
Yeah, you're right. Puck keeps Hulk distracted for everyone while Heather tries to convince Shaman to set aside his self-doubt and help. But when Shaman reaches into his medicine pouch, his hand comes out empty. Hulk collapses a pile of rubble onto Puck and makes his way outside. All he wants to do is flee, but Heather jumps on his back. Misguided. I don't think she should have just...
She probably shouldn't have. And plenty of other Alpha Flight guys are just sitting around and staring.
Yes, they're fucking... Everybody else is just too sad to do anything. Puck, by himself, is taking care of the Hulk. Aurora and North Star are crying. Heather is even like, hey, guys, could I get some help? And North Star's like, we're crying over here. Let us be.
And instantly, fucking Bill Mantlo has Heather name Delphine Courtney's thing as Dark Guardian. Fucking comic book brain. It's like, well, he has to have its own villain name.
Can't be Delphine Courtney. It is a little confusing.
It is, but
Dark Guardian isn't clarifying.
That she just immediately was like, and then when Dark Guardian attacked us yesterday, what? Stop it.
Also, she's dead. You don't need to rename her at this point.
Just terminal comic book writer brain.
Hulk shakes off Heather, and a revived Puck leaps away into the air, leaving Alpha Flight to pick up the pieces.
Oh, boy.
North Star tries to comfort Aurora over Walter's death, and she notices he is crying too. Jeffries patches up Box, allowing Roger to phase out of it. The team regroups and decides to go after the Hulk before he destroys Vancouver, but Shaman stays behind because his magic is gone.
Box is worried about going because he could be more of a cripple than he is now.
Oh my God.
Then again, it was your husband, Guardian, who made a pitiful paraplegic feel like he had something to offer. Jesus Christ, Bill Mantlo, every time?
Immediately, off the bat, the first time you have a person in a wheelchair in your hand in this new series you're writing.
Every fucking time. You can't help yourself. It's an obsession. It's fucking J.K. Rowling and trans people. It is like you can't stop thinking about how much you hate this group of people.
It really is unbelievable. And it was shocking.
Yeah. Because that is not how Roger Box has talked up till this point at all. Even a little bit. God, it drives me so fucking crazy.
So Alpha Flight finds Hulk in the middle of Vancouver, smashing it up because it's not a desert. He wants to be in the desert.
He likes a desert.
If it's not a desert, he'll make it one.
And he can't just jump away and find a desert.
They finally start using teamwork and begin to get the upper hand, but when North Star and Aurora touch, their powers disappear. Apparently a side effect from Walter's experiments.
Okay, all right, fine. That's a fine twist.
I was wondering if this was ever going to come back. But here we go. Yes. They now, instead of increasing their power when they touch, they completely lose their powers temporarily.
And of course, Hulk has to call Puck a midget during this fight.
Right. Which at the time I think was still a socially acceptable
Okay.
term.
All right. Fair enough. All right.
Still like,
We'll grant.
Come on, man.
We'll grant Bill, man. Well, I mean, but they never used it in John Byrne never used that fucking term.
I'm not excusing it, just saying I don't think it was. I'm channeling my inner weapon Jason here. I don't think people thought of it as offensive at the time.
Okay.
The Hulk knocks them out, of course, smashes up Puck and Box, and begins to descend on Heather when Snowbird suddenly appears and takes the form of Sasquatch.
Yeah,
they fight for a minute until Hulk runs away again. She busts out the technically he was created in Canada, so that makes him a Canadian creature. Why wouldn't you turn into Wendigo, by the way, a creature that has that is specific to Canada and has pretty effectively beaten the Hulk before.
Yeah.
They fight for a minute until Hulk runs away again. Snowbird pursues until Hulk reaches the U.S. border and realizes it's not her problem anymore. So she turns around.
Okay. Very heroic, Snowbird.
Hulk sees her and he goes, "I know who you are." And then Snowbird starts explaining literally everything that happened over the Tanarak arc. Hulk... The conversation ends when Hulk says, "Hulk does not understand. Hulk does not care." You tried to tell you.
Oh, God.
And remember, she hates leaving Canada, so...
Yeah.
Heather and Puck are talking about the destruction, and Heather offhandedly mentions giving up, which triggers a big, long speech from Snowbird about teamwork and purpose and stuff.
What the fuck?
Then...
Not Snowbird.
Then Gary Cody shows up
and
tells them the Department H is refunded and the team can rejoin the government. They all cheer. The end.
Literally, they all start cheering.
Yes, they like when a TV show ends with all the characters high-fiving each other.
And, North Star and Aurora are hugging. Like, what happened to them being in a fight with each other? Like... And why is North Star so excited about Alpha Flight getting back together? He fucking hates Alpha Flight. This is...
Yeah.
Not only are these mischaracterizations, like Snowbird would never give a speech like that. North Star would never act like this. Aurora wouldn't be grasping North Star in this way. Heather would never be like, "Oh, I should just give up." Like, none of this is within character. But
yeah,
he's also conceptually undoing the team from step fucking one. Already he has Roger Box acting crazy.
Right.
He's like, this could kill me, but I don't care. I love the thrill of being in my box robot. Like, he's being very
all
weird.
All of a sudden he's an adrenaline junkie.
Yes. Shaman lost his powers because he doesn't believe in himself anymore. Snowbird immediately unretires. Gary Cody in the government returns. Heather starts doubting her leadership skills. Like, immediately, everything that Byrne was building, Bill Mantlo starts reversing.
Yeah.
It'd be almost like he makes Madison Jeffries like some simpering wimp, and North Star and Aurora not mutants anymore, and
Puck not dare.
Average sized. Like, he just like undoing basic tenets of these characters.
Yeah. If we can transition into final thoughts a little bit, I think the last few issues of the Byrne arc had preparations for Bill Mantlo in them. I think that, like, it's clear that the two of them had some thoughts. That's where he gets his creative kibitzing credit. But the two of them had some thoughts just on how he wanted to pick up Alpha Flight and how John Byrne could leave it off. And to me, it was, here are the members I want to work with. Like, get rid of these characters, make sure these characters are together. They should be an actual team, not going off on their own little adventures, because that's a pretty complex thing to deal with. And Bill Mantlo is not a complex writer, and they're not traumatized enough. Let's put them through a bunch more shit. Let's like really stick their faces in the mud, because I like to work with characters that are miserable. And John Byrne kind of does that to close it all out. I'm glad that he got a second battle with Omega Flight. I think that was like his strongest arc.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, this does not bode well for the future of Alpha Flight.
No, yeah, I mean, so I think you're right that Byrne was setting some of this stuff up, but then there's just stuff that Byrne, if Mantlo had discussed some of this stuff with Byrne, Byrne would be like, what? No, Roger Box is not a weird adrenaline junkie, manic depressive or whatever. Like he's in a manic state of depression. And like Shaman losing his powers, fine. I can kind of get that, but still, it's, you know, Snowbird unretiring. Then what was the point of her retiring? What was the point of that whole? It makes her arc as a character thus far, from the beginning till now, stop making sense. Nothing about her makes sense anymore. She's a blank slate now.
Right. She's just power.
She's just character with powers. Yeah, exactly. She doesn't. Everything about her in that one speech, everything we know about Snowbird, gone. And then, yeah, fine, Gary Cody and the government returning, that undoes a lot of really cool things, which is Alpha Flight being independent. Like, that was one of the cooler aspects.
Stooges now.
Yes. And then weakening Heather as a leader sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is, I mean, kind of going to come naturally because she's a woman in a position of authority.
Right, yeah.
They got to take shots.
So this is why I need you to read some more Bill Mantlo, because you really have to see how far it falls before we walk away from Alpha Flight. It gets worse from here.
We're going to take a little break though.
Yes.
We got some other bad comics to read in the meantime.
And some good ones.
I bet I know what could bring the energy back up around here, Matt.
Nothing could bring my energy back up.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out,
it's at Deals and Seal.
Oh, okay. There he is. Oh, that's right.
I love
Matt, it's time for Pat's Steals and Deals. Can you believe it?
Give me a steal. Give me a deal.
We're already at the end of this episode. We covered 7 issues of comics, Matt.
I miss them. No, I don't. I hated these issues. No, it's not true. It's not true. Okay. All right. Let's keep going.
Now it's time to talk about another type of book. Are you ready for fantastic adventures? The choice is yours. Choose your own adventure. Here at last are books that go beyond reading to real challenge and adventure. Books in which you choose the endings, you make the decisions, you shape the direction the stories turn, you become the hero. Get into the action now, available wherever books are sold. Join the Choose Your Own Adventure fan club from Bantam Books. This is the Bantam Books. This is the start of the Bantam Books Choose Your Own Adventure
Choose Your Own Adventure stories. Yeah. Which is trademarked, by the way. Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah. Really cool stuff. An absolute staple of our childhoods. I know. I don't know if kids still get into these, but it was incredible. And here they are advertising in comic books in black and white.
Yeah. It's interesting. Yeah, I think Choose Your Own Adventure books were a really interesting piece of culture. I think they kind of they're interesting, and they actually, like, they had a big impact on video games, right? Like adventure games. The Savior Game podcast.
Because I mean,
me and pushing the process every Wednesday.
What?
Nothing. That? Sorry, I coughed. The adventure game genre came from like this Choose Your Own Adventure books and D&D, right? Like these are the two things that these are the kind of things that they were kind of trying to replicate when they started making adventure games. And
and these are just if-then statements, right?
Yeah.
If you want to do this, then go to this page. But if you want to do this, then go to this page. And that's also the basis of computer programming.
Yeah.
I was able to, when I was a kid in computer programming class, write my own Choose Your Own Adventure books because I was so inspired by these. These were so... And the art here is incredible. It takes up half the ad. It is... I guess it's supposed to be some sort of space wizard because he's surrounded by spaceships taking off. But he looks like a vampire. He looks like a Dracula, but with like a big orb in the middle of his head.
Well, mixing magic and space stuff was super popular in the mid 80s.
Yes, I absolutely believe that.
So yeah, the only real what are your memories of Choose Your Own Adventure books?
Now that you say it, Matt, very sparse.
Yeah.
I remember I loved them. I had a ton of them, and I used to like reread them over and over again and make different decisions to get every piece of it. I remember getting really into how they worked so that I could try to make my own. I don't remember a single plot or decision that I made.
I don't think I had any from the Choose Your Own Bantam Books Choose Your Own Adventure series. I had an Indiana Jones one.
You got the knockoffs.
And I had a Super Mario one. I was really into licensed stuff as a kid. Like if it had
fucking shill.
Like I wasn't just gonna buy a book. I was gonna buy a book about the X-Men or a book about a video game that I played. I wasn't even just gonna buy a video game. I was gonna be able to buy a video game about a movie I watched. I was really into licensed properties as a kid. I think all kids are to an extent, but maybe me a little more than.
I still half the t-shirts I own are Batman shirts, right?
And I remember doing them so badly because I was like, I kept going to the wrong. I think it was probably ADHD, right? Like I would go to the wrong page. I would forget what page I was supposed to be on. I would lose track of what decisions I had made. And then I remember at one time getting frustrated and just being like, I'm just going to read through. I'm just going to read it page.
You're just going to read it in page order.
Yeah. I wish I had been more like you about it because I think I would have found them fascinating had I really given them my attention.
Yeah. It's a neat little logic puzzle, sort of. One interesting little fact that I didn't know about Bantam Books, at this time they were located at 666 Fifth Avenue.
Interesting.
Yeah. Badass.
Okay, deal. Bring me all the Choose Your Own Adventure books. Bring them to me, Patrick.
You can finally read one, Matt.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's at Deals and Seals.
Folks, you made it.
You made it.
You made it here to the end of the episode where we say a bunch of stuff. And I gotta say some stuff. Number one, please follow us wherever, YouTube, Instagram. Those are the ones.
Those are the big ones.
Join our Discord. There will be a link to the Discord in the show notes. You can join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Mutant Menace.
Yeah. There's a
free access. Or pay whatever you want.
Yes.
As little as $1 per month to get bonus content. We love bonus content.
If you love us,
and there's a bunch coming.
If this is entertaining to you, it would help us out a lot for you to just give us $1 a fucking month, or tell somebody about it. Right? If that's prohibitive to you, or you're not like big on spending.
You're not a Patreon guy. I'm not a Patreon guy.
You might not be a Patreon.
Okay.
You might not be a Patreon guy. Just tell somebody about it over your dining room table tonight at dinner.
That's right.
Big thank you to Krills Wilson for the music, and Julia Selly for the voice of Trish Tilby. Pat, I think that leaves only for us to say the thing that we say at the end of every episode.
Our famous catchphrase.
Everyone knows it. And
go.
I'll say it right now.
Go ahead.
Remember, folks, remind me to be impressed every time I visit you in the hospital.
That's right. And as always, I've been soldiering along with my heart held together by baling wire and spit.